After almost 30 years of war, Cambodia has gone through many transitions, from democratic to republic to communist and finally to democratic again in 1993. During the dark era of the Khmer Rouge, 70% of schools around the country were completely destroyed, and they decimated 90% of the students and the intellectual of Cambodia. After the civil war has ended, the task of bringing back the education system in Cambodia is one of the main criteria that the government wanted to achieve. This revival is not just important for the education of Cambodia, but it's the crucial element to revive Cambodia as a whole back to life. They started to re-establish the system back to life by building more schools and produce more teachers to revive what already have been lost. Nowadays, kindergarten and high school in Cambodia is a far cry from the derelict condition of the school back in the 1980s. Today, based on the static study by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport of Cambodia, in primary school, children's access to primary school have improved, with the net enrollment rate improved from 94.8% to 97%, with no gender disparity. Repetition rate have fallen, and the student dropout has declined. A number of incomplete primary schools have been completed. Most primary schools operate using the child-friendly school policy. Tools to access learning achievement have been developed and show that student learning have improved, especially for Khmer language in the early grades. Bilingual education is being expanded, as are accelerating learning classes and the multi-grade teaching approach. 15,000 scholarship has been provided to poor children. The development of 600 schools has been supported using School Improvement Grant, a program that will be expanded nationwide in school years from 2013 to 2014. And thousands of teachers have been trained in effective teaching and learning.
Historically speaking, Cambodia has fallen into the civil war for almost 3 decades. Many Cambodian innocent citizens were killed because of the war. The infrastructure, including the roads, school buildings, national institutions, were severely damaged. After the collapse of Pol Pot regime in 1979, the Cambodian government was trying and struggling hard in order to rebuild the country. There were not enough both the primary and secondary schools at all, making it hard for Cambodian children to be educated. Some schools in the city were extorted to be killing fear or prisons during the Pol Pot regime. However, under the help and support from many developed countries, the government of Cambodia could build more schools and improve the classroom condition from time to time. A data shown by EMIS in 2004 stated that about a third of primary school and secondary school did not have access to clean drinking water and toilets. 10 to 15% of classrooms lack an adequate roof or walls, and about 5% of rural schools did not possess the most basic elements. Yet, this indicator did show a notable improvement in the overall quality of infrastructure from past years. Nowadays, there are a number of private schools existing and offering such a program like what the public schools do. Their classrooms are air-conditioned and they are better than some other public schools in rural areas. It has clearly seen that nowadays the school infrastructure and classroom have been improved. As we can see in the video, this is the view of Central Mok Primary and Secondary School located along Kampuchea Boulevard and Mao Zedong Boulevard. There are a number of buildings, gardens, football, volleyball, and basketball court. Also, there is a big playground. In each classroom of the school, there are some useful slogans and other useful posters along with other materials. Students will find it conveniently to be a good place to study.
Teacher and teaching. In order to become a kindergarten or a primary teacher, one needs to have certain qualifications. They have to go through the examinations, and normally the exam is taken place in each province at the same day. The examination is quite hard, challenging, and competitive since there is a large number of candidates, but only a small number will be chosen. Who can take the exam? All students who have finished high school got the right to take the exam. And for those who pass, they necessarily spend another 2 years in learning to officially become a kindergarten or a primary teacher. For kindergarten teachers, the subject focuses much on three main things. First is teaching methodology, next psychology, and the last one, classroom decoration. Not much different from kindergarten teacher, primary teachers learn some certain subjects. First of all, they need to learn the four main subjects: Khmer language, mathematics, science, and social study. Besides this, they are required to study teaching methodology and psychology as well. Well, we should keep in mind that a primary teacher teaches the primary students, but in the process of learning, they have to learn all levels of all subjects. That means primary teachers learn similar subjects, have similar knowledge towards secondary and also a high school teacher. Let's continue with teaching. Nowadays, teaching method in kindergarten and primary class has been significantly developed. In a kindergarten class, students are guided and taught for certain purposes. First of all, they focus on familiarizations. In kindergarten class, a teacher concerns with the students' familiarizations, how to make students familiar with the school environment, classroom environment, teacher, and classmates. And secondly, we focus on speaking and reading. In this level, writing is not so important. The focus in this level class is to make students speak more and read more. They are encouraged to sing a song, to repeat after the teachers, and so on. Last but not least is focus on intelligent growth. The teachers provide students chance to draw picture, paint picture, do the puzzle, play games, and much more, which can allow them to activate their brain. Talking about primary class, there is a small change in course book for a new program. For grade 1, 2, and 3, the science and social study are combined into one book. That means there are only 3 course books for these grades. But for grade 4 and 5, there are 4 books as usual. For classroom teaching, primary teachers are taught through specific objectives. First objective is to build relationship. The teacher starts to get students work in pair or to work in group in order to build the relationship among everyone and also teach them how to work cooperatively. In addition to this, morality is also taught in this primary class. All the children are taught to say thank you when they get something from somebody, or to say sorry when they do something wrong, or even respect older people, somebody who are older than them, so on and so forth. In primary class, the teacher also focuses on intellectual development. Very often, the teacher lets students learn through play and physical activities. And moreover, in this class also, writing starts to be a very important thing. A teacher always gives students time to copy letters from the books or the whiteboard at least 10 minutes per session. And last but not least is recall. Traditionally, at the beginning of the lesson, students are usually asked to talk about the lesson they learned from the previous session, and at the end of the session, students will be asked to talk about what they have just learned.
Government plan and policy on education. Education was adopted as the second sector of Cambodian Millennium Development Goal. The target is to ensure that by 2015, children everywhere, boys and girls alike, will be able to complete the full course of primary schooling. To achieve this, the government has increased the expenditure of education. In 2000, the government has spent about $44 million, and in 2013, the government has increased up to $290 million. In addition, a school readiness program, which was found effective in reducing repetition and dropout rates, and increased the promotion rate and school attendance in grade 1. In addition, a school feeding program, which improved the student school enrollment and attendance. And last but not least, an inclusive education program, which increased the school attendance on disabled children. The government also has the National Plan on Education for All, as well as the Strategy Plan in 2014 to 2018. There are three main goals for the National Plan. So the first goal is to ensure the equitable access to education services. And the second goal is to improve the quality and efficiency of educational services. And the last goal is to improve the institutional and capacity development for educational staff for decentralization. The government expected the outcome that the net admission rate would be increased, as well as the dropout rate would be decreased. Besides from the government policy, some NGOs such as UNDP, UNICEF, PSE, and Cambodian Children Fund have worked wholeheartedly with the government in order to improve the universal primary education in Cambodia. For instance, UNICEF Basic Education Program help children realize their rights to equality basic education by maximizing a child's early learning capacity through preschool and home-based education. As a result, in 2009 to 2010 of the school year, more children than ever received a head start to their education through enrollment in 932 community preschool classes that benefited 21,258 children, and home-based program 8,920 children were benefited. Currently, PSE has supported more than 6,000 disadvantaged children on food, shelter, medical care, formal education, and vocational training. As a result of recent initiatives, children who had been neglected in school system are now receiving much needed support through policy measures and ongoing training for teacher and education administration.